Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, May the 4th, 2023. Thursday, May the 4th. Well, we had some action going on. It's moving. It's moving. I mean, I'm mad at the movement, right? Let's get started. We have Willow. TJ, where is Terry? Dr. Randolph? Why aren't they showing her? TJ delivers the oncologist news. Even though he says this is Dr. Randolph's specialty, and Michael's like, but she's not here. You tell us. And so he was saying that, look, Willow's at the stages to where she needs to stay in the hospital so they can try to prolong her life. When different complications come up, they can treat her medically to try to get her stable, just to keep her alive as long as they can for Drew, and Obrecht to possibly arrive. But it can be painful, I don't know why, because they could give her medication, but they're saying if they send her home, they will send her probably on some morphine. If they said hospice, morphine, make her as comfortable as possible, but she will pass away, and sooner rather than later. Her only chance to prolong her life and possibly keep her alive long enough as if she stays in the hospital. And he goes, and now that you're married, Michael, you get to make that decision. And I thought, woo, we dodged a bullet, didn't we? That the SEC didn't interrupt that wedding and they didn't get to say, I do, OMG, because Nina would have made the decision for them and not let anybody see her. And quite frankly, Nina should be able to see her because her daughter is near death. They're going to try to keep her hanging on. So everybody, well, not everybody, because you can't tax her. She could die of everybody coming in, right? But Nina should be able to say her goodbyes to her daughter. That's my opinion. And I'm not a Nina fan, but right is right. She's there. Willow needs to know Nina's there, So anyway, Michael, like, I really need you to wake up, because he wants her to be involved in this decision. He doesn't want to have to make this decision for her, because he told TJ Willow would not want to die in a hospital. She would want to die at home around her family. And he's like, oh, so he goes in and he's talking, and Willow wakes up. And Michael tells her what's going on, gives her her choices. That is one thing I could say I do like about Michael. Michael believes in letting his women, he has never tried to dictate their lives. Never. Which is why Willow's saying, I can't tell Michael that I have cancer because he'll try to make me. Michael would never have tried to make her do anything. Just like he's not trying to make her now. He was hoping she would make that decision. And she goes, Michael, so this means I won't get to see Wiley and Amelia. I'll be in this hospital all alone. He goes, for one thing, Willow, you will not be alone. I'm going to be here by your side for as long as as many hours as I can, as they're going to let me. And I will bring Amelia and Wiley here as much as I can. And I'm thinking, no, the family can bring them kids in, right? Wiley knows she's sick. Amelia won't know anything. So she goes, I want to go home. And he just looks at her. She goes, well, let me finish. But Drew is out there risking his life to save my life. I can't let that go in vain. I have to try to fight to stay alive as long as he's fighting to try to bring Lizzo home. I owe him that much. And Michael was like, thank God you made that choice. So she made the right choice for once. For once, Willow made the right medical choice. Okay. Now, Sonny's talking to Nina, and he's sitting down, and I forget what she asked him, and he starts talking, and he says, "Yeah, he's doing." Oh, she goes, "Any news on getting my Aunt Lizo? Any news? Any no, but I'm trying everything I can. I'm gonna fight for my family. I am going to get them. Anybody messes with my family, anyone." He goes, "You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us." And Nina just looks. She almost does that gulp, swallow, like, you know. And he goes, Ned is the one that turned them in. And he goes, I have my connections looking into who turned Carly and Drew in. And she goes, what connections? Oh, I got connections and I got people. He says, it's a matter of time before I find out that Ned, he says, and when I find out it was him, he better brace himself. And he gives that look, and she's like, Sonny, remember you said you wanted to take me to the island? And he's like, yeah. Well, I want to go. Let's go. And he goes, wait, when did you change your mind? Well, look, let's just get away. He goes, well, what about Willow? You said you wanted to be close. Well, you said it's not that far and we can just hop a plane and I'll be right back here. He goes, well, okay. Right? He's never taken her to his island, right? So he calls Dex, who was with Joss, and says, look, charter me a private plane and come get me. So that he goes to Kelly's to pick them up, pick Sonny and Nina up. And meanwhile, while he's at Jocelyn's, Carly's calling Jocelyn, telling her Willow was rushed to the hospital. So Jocelyn is rushing there too. And so when Dex gets to Kelly's, Dex says, boss, I have some news. And he goes, what? He said, Willow was rushed to the hospital. She's there now. And Sonny looks at Nina. Nina looks at him. He goes, let's go. And he tells Dex, cancel that plane. Right? So they're on their way to the hospital. And Sonny calls Jocelyn, but as he's calling her to let her know Nina and Sonny were on their way, they walk in the house. I mean, in the hospital. So Carly just looks at them. Sonny's looking at Carly. Carly's looking at Sonny. Him and Nina walking hand in hand, but that doesn't bother Carly. Carly, in her mind, has moved on with Drew, but she and Sonny are getting a closer connection to one another, right? Just due to what's happening. So everything is left there. Nothing else happened with Willow today. Then we have TJ. Curtis is telling him, TJ, Spencer, I need you to get Trina and the baby to the helicopter. And I'm trusting you with this job. He goes, I don't have to tell you how much Trina means to me, right? And Trina's like, but what are you gonna do? He goes, I gotta go help. She's like, I'm like, shut up, Trina, let the man do what he need to do. So she goes, sat phone. And Curtis is like, what? She goes, there's a sat phone behind the bar. I'll get it. She goes, I could call Jordan. I'll call on the way. He goes, fine. Curtis takes it. He goes, you two get out of here now. Curtis takes off. So Spencer goes, come on, Trina, we gotta go. Spencer, the baby needs a blanket. I'm thinking, okay, somebody thought about the baby in a blanket. But when she says that, Spencer already had a blanket on the baby. And I thought, well, where'd that blanket come from? He had the blanket around the baby saying, let's go. She goes, Spencer, the baby needs a big, more blanket than this. This is not going to keep him warm enough. I'm going to go get it. She goes, Trina, no. I don't want you walking around by yourself. And I'm thinking, then why won't you go with her? You just go into the room where Ace was kept. And see, Curtis didn't do a good job of tying folks up. What did he do? Just knock her out, the woman? I know he didn't even hit her. She wasn't bruised. Well, whatever he did to her, Trina's gone. She goes, just 2 minutes, just tie me. She goes running off. And so he's saying something, Ace, we're gonna get out of here, Ace. And as he turns around, he goes back, and he sees it's the nanny. And she's like, hand over that baby. Mr. Cassadine entrusted me with the care of that baby, and you're gonna hand him over to me. He goes, no, I'm not. And as they're showing her, I'm like, I don't see a gun in her hand. Spencer, put the baby down and go mop her up, right? I don't condone men hitting women. But at this point, she's a hostile, okay? At this point, she means to do him and Trina harm. So you want to know what? She's fair game, everybody. She's fair game. Put the baby down and commence to knocking her out, okay? But he didn't have to, because guess who came from behind and cracked her over the head with something? Trina, right? She goes, I told you 2 minutes. And she had a bigger blanket for the baby. So he goes, Trina, we got to go. Oh, I forgot I was supposed to call Jordan. And I'm like, see, Trina, you've been smart the entire time, girl. You stayed hidden on that ship and nobody knew you were there. You were covert, you were everything else, but you thinking of every stinking stupid thing to stall and stay on that doggone boat. I almost said a curse word, y'all. Almost, right? so, so anyway, she's calling Jordan, and just like there was no urgency. And Jordan, blah, blah, blah. And Joy says, Trina, listen to me. Where are you? I'm not you gotta get off that boat. You gotta get on the helicopter, and you gotta get out of there. There is a deadly pathogen, and blah, blah, blah. You know, and Trina goes, oh, okay. So she hangs up, and they go out, and they hear all this gunfire. What do we? Curtis, Spencer's like, we gotta get out of here. Oh, I'm thinking, shut up, Trina. You have lost all of your cunningness right now. The gunshots at the stinking compound. Curtis told you where the helicopter was, on the other side of the island. Get to stepping, chick. Get to stepping. All of you, right? Meanwhile, back at the compound, we have Laura going DEF-CON. Laura Spencer, remember I said, you know what? I don't really have a favorite. I mean, Carly's. I'm still Team Carly. But I'm sorry. My favorite person on General Hospital is Laura Spencer. I'm going to call her by her old name, by her Luke and Laura name. Because, see, she was doing some Luke and Laura stuff, y'all. They were the only ones that can defeat the Cassadines. And quite frankly, it was Laura. Because those stinking men all fell in love with her, with the exception of Victor, right? Miko's too, but he's dead. No, he wasn't dead. But anyway, she always was the one that foiled all of the plans. Laura had the pathogen up, and she's holding, everybody's trying to step back, and she goes, I'll destroy it all. And Victor looked at her and said, you didn't get the consensus of everybody, everybody you came with. And she looked at Drew, and Drew said, "Oh, I'm with you. Oh, she's got my support, right?" And he goes, Obert's like, and they gag her mouth, right? Put the guard puts his hand over her mouth because she was gonna say, "It's not gonna work unless it's in the sunlight. You needs UV," right? And Victor's like, "You wouldn't dare. Because if you do it, if you break that, you die too." And Laura looked at him and she said, "It would be worth it. It would be worth it." She holds it up and I said, "No, Laura, Spencer, Collins. Wow, you were gonna go ahead and sacrifice your life for everybody? Well, for Spencer, for her grandson, for her family, because that would kill Victor. So she thought, stop the pathogen. She thought she could save the world, really. Save the world. So after it hits the ground, and Victor's like, and the guards are holding their nose because they still don't know. Okay, something might do something, right? And Victor said, "Forgot to tell you, in order for that to activate, needs UV light." And Liesel said, "I was trying to tell you that." So now the gunfight, and everybody's fighting, and Victor's like, kill her, and blah blah blah, and Drew's fighting and everything, and then all of a sudden Victor takes the case, and Brett, and he has a gun. "Let's get out of here." And Laura says, "Victor!" And he turns around and he shoots at her, but Victor's a bad shot. He just grazed her jacket, right? But then Drew's fighting, and Drew's about to get shot. No. Yeah, Drew's about to get shot, and then somebody shoots from behind, and it's Anna. And I said, "Yes, the cavalry is here. There's Anna. The person that's stitched up, should have been bled out, shouldn't be out the bed, coming in commando Anna." Now, mind you, Anna's shooting. Anna's fighting. Anna gets hit in her wound, and ow, yikes, And Anna almost dies. I mean, not dies, almost gets shot. But then Curtis now shows up and shoots the person that's about to shoot Anna. So now Anna's saved. And Anna tells Curtis, "You've got to go after Victor. Go after Victor now. He left that way with Obrecht." So Curtis goes to take on after them. And Drew says, "Come on, Laura, we have to go." And she's looking at Anna. And Anna says, "Whew." And she's trying to get her bearing. And she goes, "Where's Valentine?" And Laura said, "He's in, I guess, the isolation room. Victor injected him with the pathogen." And Anna's like, "Oh my God." So she grabs her gun and she goes headed in the direction of what she got to think is the isolation room, because last I checked, Anna's never been there, but she went right to the room. And there he is, still being not that one. Still being haunted and taunted by the ghost demon of Helena. And she's like, "Ooh, almost there, my boy. Almost there. Then you're going to be joining me." Right? And he's like, "Never. I'm never gonna join you." And he's blood now, starting more blood is coming out of the innards. And she's like, "Nobody's gonna miss you. Not Charlotte. Not." Oh, and he's going, and he goes, "No, no." I love, he goes, not the woman you love. And he's like, no, that is not true. That is not true. I got to fight this, because she goes, what are you fighting for? I'm fighting for them. And as he looks up, he's weak. He's looking up, and where Helena used to be, he sees Anna. Anna's at the window, right? And she's looking at him, and he's like, oh, I am going to heaven. Because see, he don't know it's really Anna. Because the last he know, Anna's in the hospital. He's thinking Anna is the last person he's seeing, right? So it ends there with, he has this peaceful smile on his face. And he kind of leans back, and I said, oh, he better not die. No, at all. Every single mission Valentine has gone on, with the except for the mission to save Lucy, Valentine's been fatally injured, potentially fatally injured, right? And he's lived through it all. He better live through this pathogen. He better be one of the 10% or 20% of the population that's immune. Okay, it better not be strong enough, or Obret better have done something that it won't kill him, because nobody has the antidote. So he is gonna have to live through this. I'm not liking that. I like Valentine Cassadine, right? Anybody else? I like him. So now we've got outside. Now Victor has Obret trying to get back to the Haunted Star. See, now we still got Trina and Spencer still screwing around on that darn boat. Trina, all your fault, right? But Holly is now. Robert has Obret by gunpoint. She goes, don't you know you ain't making it off this island? Give it up, Victor. And he goes, oh, we making it off this island, right? So he's pushing her forward, and Holly has a gun. So going somewhere, and now Holly has the gun on him. Because see, Holly has an axe to grind with Victor, the man that tortured her, that blackmailed her, that actually auctioned off her only child. Tracy's the only thing that saved Ethan, right? So let's see what Holly does. Let's see what a very angry Holly is going to do. So that's it, y'all. That is it for General Hospital. You know what I decided to do with Comic Corner? I've decided that I am going to pretty much do 10 minutes of comments. I'm going to pick them randomly. I'm not going to always read from the top down. I'll read from the bottom up. I'm going to mix them up. And when the 10 minutes is up, it's over. I mean, we'll cut it short. So sometimes I'll be able to get everything in within the 10 minutes, everybody. I'll be able to do it, because I really hated, we had some good comments yesterday. And then I said, no, it's too many. Plus my voice was kind of messing up. But I said, you know what? Why don't I do this? I'll just read as much as I can within the 10 minutes. That way it doesn't matter how many I have. Either it's going to be enough for me to get through them all, or I'm going to stop in 10 minutes. Now, if I'm skimming and I see your comment doesn't make an ounce of sense, and I'm just going to be real with y'all, sometimes they don't, I'm not even going to read it. Okay? I'm not even going to read them. But I am going to just go through. So let's get started. I got my little timer on my phone. Janice says, this is my favorite person for GH reviews. Tells it exactly how it is. Very interesting. Excellent storytelling. Well, thank you so much, Janice. Thank you. Ron says, Victor acts like he was pissed that Valentine didn't die from the drug. I know. He's thinking it's taking too long, my boy. Liesl, Shoot him up again. Robert holds hold card doesn't work. Frisco. He was fired. And now the new director is going to blow up the island without knowing what's going on. I know. Lisa says, most likely the boat that Drew, Laura, and Valentine and Curtis came on has baby items there. Laura would have thought of that. Well, they took a helicopter. So hopefully they had a diaper. But I guess you know what? The helicopter is probably going to take them to the next nearest civilization, because the helicopter did not come from Port Charles all the way to Greenland, right? They probably chartered that one. And then Alicia says, those two old guys at the hospital room was hilarious. How did he get tape on Robert's mouth? He probably reached in the drawer. You know, they got tape in there to bandage up arms. And Alicia says, RL, I guess that's recap lady. Oh, yeah. You never work. Oh, you could never work for a SOP. You're too real. Must be for a soap. You're too real. I don't like how Taggart is kept out of the loop. We all know Curtis is the daddy, but shaking my head and the disrespect shown to Taggart. No, they just decided they didn't need to cast Taggart in for this, which was really stupid. If there was any time Taggart was needed, it was now. It really was. And he was absent for a large part of when Trina was on trial too, right? And then Black Butterfly says Taggart will be back next week in time to warn Portia from going to Greenland. Other than that, I'm not here. Wait, I'm not here for Portia or Taggart and their complaints about Spencer. I know, because we darn well know those two where am I? Let's see. Those two will be opening their mouths as soon as Spencer and Trina step off the elevator. And I'm going to need Spencer and Trina to drop off the baby and bounce. Annette says, I never realized how boring the hospital in my town is until someone enters General Hospital for any reason. I know, well, General Hospital, right? DB says, Nina and Ava both came long ways. It's sad watching them grow into haters. Ava knows darn well, once it's found out that Nina did what she did, Nina would forget any chance she had, any chance she will have with Sonny and Willow. Krista says, what if all the WSB agents are not legitimate and are working for Victor? Victor used to run it, so he could have loyal employees. That's true, but guess what? The new boss wants to blow up the island. So they're not too fond of Victor, right? Since Victor was head of the WSB, he knows how they operate. Was this his plan all along? Lead the WSB to the island, attempt to destroy it, but cause the WSB to inadvertently release the toxin on the world instead, all while thinking they're going to save it. And Victor didn't think that far ahead. You want to know what's interesting? After this whole stupid debacle and Victor's whole stupid plan, he's nowhere near as smart as I thought he was at all. Really, seriously. Krista says, with Michael and Willow now married, isn't it up to Michael and Michael only to let others know about Willow's current medical situation? Yes, he informed Carly, who gladly withheld information from Nina. And of course, Tracy and Brooklyn were aware due to proximity. Yes, Carly was with Nina when she learned of Willow's situation, but it was not within the bounds legally to divulge Willow's medical information without her or Michael's consent. You know what? No one ever cares about consent when someone you know and love goes to the hospital. Carly had just had a dealing with Nina, you know, didn't go too well. Michael said Willow's in the hospital. Carly bounced. She looked back and thought, yeah, you know what? If I liked her, I would tell her, but I don't, so I won't. She'll have to find out another way, right? It is not Carly's duty to tell Nina. Just like Nina found out today that Willow was in the hospital. Nina found out, but it's not up to Carly to be the one to tell her. Michael could have picked up the phone. Sure could have. Cindy says, okay. Cindy likes my dark daily recap cap and black t-shirt, you know, because that's my brand, that's my MO. And the only reason I'm still not in the brand, everybody, is the hair won't fit under the cap. Because naturally my hair is only about 3 inches long, right? So yeah, guess what, Cindis? The original daily recap lady, she'll be back. This is only for a couple months. And then I'll be back to my normal daily recap self, okay? So I'll be back. Sabrina says, I cannot stand Nina and now Ava. I can't wait until they both get theirs. Curtis has skills. Yes, he does. I love how Trina would not leave Spencer and she was getting on Curtis's nerves. I know it's a soap, but I really, where's the coat for Trina, Spencer, and the baby? Trina she kind of had a hoodie on, but in the end, Trina had a coat. Spencer didn't have one, and they're just wrapping the baby up. Great recap. And then Black Butterfly says, what were the writers thinking for a particular scene? No one is freezing and they got a baby with them. I know they weren't thinking, but they wanted something for Trina to hesitate in, I guess. So Sandy says, I can't wait for everybody to find out Nina was the one who turned Carly in. I have just started to like Ava because of her relationship with Trina, but seeing her smiling and Joy talking with Nina about Carly, I guess that kind of made you change your mind a bit, huh? Yeah, that's the way they are. You know, that's exactly how they are. I don't care about them. Carrie says, great job. And I'm with you on your assumption about today's episode. Is going with the Nina storyline. With you and your assumption today's episode. Okay. Love Curtis giving a beat down on Victor's men and getting the baby away from the nanny. And you're right about taking the baby before taking the baby stuff before leaving the boat. You know, Trina just stop, gotta go get a bottle now. I mean, stop. Where's the binky? Come on, Trina. Right? I'm so on this path. I'm so with on this pathogen storyline. They just gotta finish it already. Okay. Hope you have a good day. And then Ruth said, Spencer, sweetie, put a blanket on the baby and the bassinet. You took the baby out. He could freeze. I know. She could have picked it up, right? Could have picked that blanket up. Sheila says, for a while there, I thought the pathogen injected in Valentine was going to turn him back into his deformed self, the way he was before. At the first, when Alex and Anna showed compassion to him and he fell in love with her before he had his surgeries and repaired his face. Well, bottom line, it was the pathogen couldn't turn him back because it was the surgeries that corrected everything. And I didn't know his face was that deformed. I know it was he had a real bad hump and a scoliosis in his back. He was crooked, you know, which is why Elena said, my crooked boy. It was like, wow, Mom, thanks for telling me that, right? You know, what other love conversations do you have for me, Mama? Uh, and let's see. Oh, guess what? I'm almost done. And Sheila says, for a while there, I thought, oh, no, no, I already read that. Sheila says, I wish Nate would have turned that guard, the best Spencer, wait, that bested Spencer overboard. Who's Nate? I wish Nate. You mean Curtis? And would have they wanted to pick Spencer up and throw him overboard. He still knocked him out. Also, he should have collected all the guns from each guard. Yeah, I mean, he didn't secure the hostage or the captives well enough to me. Look, that nanny sure walked out of there. NK Rose says Valentine is sitting under a UV light. Was he? I didn't notice that. NK Rose. That was a UV light in there. That's interesting. Then Valentine is immune. Even though it's jacking him up, he's still probably, oh, let's hope. Lashunta says, Helena's low down in death as she was in life. Carly's money froze. Nina, she don't need your money. Sonny told her about the wedding. I can't wait till Ava and Nina get theirs. Trina wasn't leaving without Spencer. I hate they beat Spencer like that. Now Curtis knows Spencer's not leaving without Laura. Scott put everyone in danger, got Frisco replaced. I feel bad for Valentine. Victor needs to be gone. Drew is telling Laura to come on, but she won't budge, and they got caught. Laura got the pathogen, so if she drops it, they will die. Nope, they're not under UV light. And then Lucy says, Comic Corner is the best part of the recap of General Hospital. Oh, Lucy, you saying that because I couldn't do it yesterday. Well, I'm going to do Comic Corners. Like I said, I'll do 10 minutes of Comic Corner. This way we can kind of get it in. So whatever I don't get done in 10 minutes, I don't get done, everybody. I think that is pretty gosh darn fair. All right, I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Cliffhanger Friday. And it's going to be a good Cliffhanger Friday for once. I can't wait to see what Valentine better not die. If he dies, everybody, I'm going to be jacked up. I'm just telling you now. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow for another episode of General Hospital Daily Recaps.